The partly legendary Danish chronicle of Saxo Grammaticus, Gesta Danorum, circa 1200, is the first text to mention Björn Ironside as a king of Sweden. According to Saxo, Ragnar Lodbrok, the renowned Viking warrior, had a quarrel with the recently elevated ruler of the Swedes, Sorel. Seeking to assert his dominance, Ragnar invaded the Swedish lands, accompanied by his sons Björn, Fridleif, and Radbard. Before the battle could commence, the opposing sides agreed to settle the matter through single combat. Ragnar and his 3 sons faced the renowned champion Starkad and his 7 sons, with both armies watching. In this epic confrontation, Björn, who was known for his immense strength, inflicted great slaughter on the enemy without suffering any injuries himself. It was from the strength of his sides, which seemed as hard as iron, that he gained the name Ironside. Ragnar and his sons emerged victorious, slaying all 8 of their opponents. With their enemies defeated, Ragnar's troops fell upon Sorel and his army, annihilating them completely. In recognition of Björn's bravery and service, Ragnar presented him with the lordship of Sweden. This marked the beginning of Björn Ironside's rule over the Swedish kingdom. Later, Ragnar's son Ub colluded with his maternal grandfather Esbjörn and conspired against Ragnar. Esbjörn sent envoys to Björn in Sweden to garner support for a rebellion, but Björn, loyal to his father, refused to entertain their request. Instead, he hanged the envoys, and the rest of their party was slaughtered by the Swedes. Shortly after, Esbjörn met his demise in a sea battle, and Ub was captured after putting up a heroic resistance. As time passed, Ragnar appointed Björn as regent of Norway, while another of his sons, Eric Weatherhat, took over Sweden. After Ragnar's death, Björn and his brothers launched a massive attack on King Ella in England. Leading a formidable fleet of 400 ships, they succeeded in killing Ella and avenging their father's death. Following this victory, Björn returned to his kingdom in Sweden. However, he did not stay idle for long. When the Danes rose in rebellion against the rule of Ragnar's sons, Björn once again intervened. This time, he commanded a fleet of 1,700 ships and, together with his brothers, crushed the insurgents at Schleswig. This is the last we hear about Björn Ironside in the Gesta Danorum. The Hervarar saga, dating from the 13th century, also mentions Björn Ironside. According to this saga, Björn and his brothers killed Eystein Belli, as recounted in Ragnar Lodbrok's saga, and went on to conquer all of Sweden. After Ragnar's death, Björn Ironside inherited the Swedish kingdom. He had 2 sons, Refil and Eric Björnsson, who succeeded him as kings of Sweden. Anglo-Saxon and Irish sources suggest that the Danish invasion of England after 865 was led by 3 brothers, Ingvar, Ivar, Ub, and Halfdan. These sources, such as the Kogad Gadel Re Galib, hint that they were sons of a Ragnall, a name possibly referring to Ragnar or a similar figure. Although Björn is not mentioned in these sources, later Norman traditions suggest that he may have been one of their brothers. According to the chronicler William of Jumiages, Björn eventually died in Frisia, a region that was associated with the invaders of England. Ub is sometimes referred to as the Frisian Jarl, and the invaders are occasionally called Skaldingi, meaning men from the Scheld region. The kingship of Björn, however, remains historically problematic. Older sources do not always support his rule, and the timeline presents some insurmountable chronological inconsistencies. Nonetheless, Björn Ironside's legacy as a legendary warrior and ruler continues to captivate historians and enthusiasts alike.